Alright guys, today I'm going to do a little demo video on how I start prepping individual link tracks. I really like individual link tracks as opposed to the vinyl ones like these. Can't stand them. If I have extras and there's a kit that you want it for, let me know. I'll send you my vinyl tracks because I never use them. So this technique that I have will work with the Magic Links, which you get in Dragon DML kits. It'll work with Fruamodel metal tracks. It'll work with individual links that are still on the sprue. And this is what we're going to talk about today. But if you apply the technique to any of these types of individual link tracks, I think you'll get a pretty good result. So I'm going to show you how I basically do my prep work before I start assembling. The assembly will be a separate video. What I do first with these is wash them, and then I'll start to paint them just to get a base coated color on them. And what I like to do is maybe use a few different colors, like I'll use a couple of Vallejo burnt umber, or German brown, and even the track primer. And I'll spray those on kind of randomly across the different sprues so that I get a modeling of colors. I don't get one solid color because I like to have some variety. And they're individual links, so each link should have its own individual character. So once I get that done, I will cut them off the sprue. I like to use these fine tip nippers that you can get from Micromark. They really come in handy. They do a good job. And then basically here's the end result after I've gone through and nipped everyone off. I will then take them and put them in some kind of plastic container, much like this. So you can see that there's some color on them. There's some variety of colors in there, as you can see. You've got some different browns and reds and rusts. But we're going to go ahead and really rough these up a little bit more to give them some more character. So what I do is I take some pigments. Here I've got some MIG light rust. And you can use any colors you like. Whatever strikes your fancy is fine. There's no really, set recipe for how I do this, but I'll take a little bit of the rust pigment and I'm just going to sprinkle it in there. You see that? I'm going to shake it around a little bit just to kind of spread it. Then I'm going to take some pigment fixer, and you can use alcohol, you can use turpentine, anything like that will work. But I'll take a little bit on my brush and I'm just going to flick it randomly just to get some drops in there on the tracks. And I'm not soaking the whole track, and I'm not soaking all the tracks. I just want to get a little bit to stick and a little bit on that track. And I'm going to shake it around, and you can start to see how it's starting to cover some parts of the tracks and not others. And then I may go for a little lighter color. And again, I'm just going to take a little bit on my spatula and I'm just going to sprinkle it in there. And then a little more pigment fixer. And we're just going to dab it on there. And the nice thing about this is if you want a little more, you put a little more on there. If it looks about right, it looks about right. But I would do each pigment separately so you don't get kind of a muddying of all the pigments together. And I'm just going to shake that up, shake it up, and then I'll keep going on and on. 3 or 4 colors, whatever your fancy, that's all that you need to do. And then you let that dry, and when you're done, you got tracks that kind of look like this. Let's pour them out here on So there's a little bit of texture on here. There's some multitudes of color. They look rusty. They look like they've been sitting around in the elements for a while. Now keep in mind, depending on the track that you're doing, if they have rubber pads, you're going to have to paint those on by hand. If you've got older track or newer track, you're going to want to adjust this technique one way or the other just to kind of simulate the end product that you're going to get. But after you dust off all the excess and let this dry thoroughly, this is the end result that you're going to have. And hopefully you will give this technique a try and put some variety into your individual links. And the next video I'm going to show you how I start to assemble these. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.